and they came
It
up
was
behind me, and
whiteout.
before everybody was on, I'm talking, ma'am. You'll have your turn to ask me any questions that you like.
We're going
I
to
did
move on.
not pass
Mr.
the bus with
Avery,
the kid out. I know there was no kids out. I did stop.
Miss
They did
Peak,
not have a
stop
stop sign out.
talking.
They need to have a stop sign out if you're not
Miss
allowed to pass.
Peak, that's not true at all. Stop
Yes,
talking.
it is. I've looked it
Mr.
up.
Avery,
Yes, it is.
what would you like to
He
say?
has to have a stop sign out. Yes, he does. He
Ma'am?
absolutely does too have to have a
Ma'am?
stop sign out.
This is a citation that was issued on, looks like September 18th of this year on Wildwood Road there in Orangeville Township, Berry County. I'm assuming Patterson. All right, so that's right on the line. This is failure to stop for a school bus civil infraction. So, ma'am, you are here on this citation to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation as to how or why this happened. Or three, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, to fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want the ticket because I didn't do anything wrong.
You don't think that was your ticket I was just reading to you the whole time? Where it happened, what it was, when it happened? That didn't sound familiar to you? So you want to fight the ticket?
Yes, please.
All right. Deputy, are you waiting for an additional witness, or are you able to testify yourself?
I could testify myself. Mr. Avery, I believe he was the Samsung. I just texted him. He said he got kicked out.
Yeah, I'm bringing him back in. That's who I assume that might be. So we'll just wait till they are. Now they're up and running. All right. On the Samsung, your name, please.
My name is Richard Avery.
All right. So first thing I'm going to do is swear everybody in. Everybody want to raise their right hands, please. Mr. Avery and Miss Peak. This is your ticket, Miss Peak. Miss Peak, do you understand what's happening right now?
I don't know. I'm at court.
Yes. And didn't I just ask you to raise your right hand like everyone else is raising their right hand?
I didn't know you were asking me to do that. I thought you were talking to who? I don't know who I thought you were talking to.
Okay, ma'am. There are three people in court: the bus driver, the police officer, and you, the person with the ticket. You just said you want to fight the ticket, so we're going to have a hearing. So now I'm swearing in everybody who's going to testify. I need you to raise your right hand.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
And Miss Peak. All right. Miss Peak, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the officer. They have the burden to establish to me why you were issued a citation in the first place. But then after that, you'll have the opportunity to either ask questions or testify on your own behalf. With that, Deputy, you want to pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense, explain the issuing of this citation?
Yes, Your Honor. So on 9/8, and I apologize for background noise. I am at Martin High School. And, it's passing hour. On 9/18 of 24, approximately 7:27 hours, I was informed by Martin Public School bus driver Richard Avery that a red Dodge Journey bearing Michigan registration EFL 9124 had passed him on the same direction westbound on Wildwood near the intersection of Patterson. He informed me via the school radio of the direction of travel. I attempted to locate the vehicle. That vehicle with that registration is registered to Savannah Peak. I was unable to locate the vehicle at that time. I did call her by telephone number, which was provided in our CAD system. On 9/25, she did return my call. We spoke about the incident. She did admit to driving her red Journey that day, and that she did pass a bus near the Shelbyville area. She indicated at first that she had passed the bus because yellow flashers were on. Then later speaking with her, she admitted to passing the bus with the red lights on.
I never admitted to that. I never said I passed it with the lights on.
Ma'am, this is not your turn. Like I said, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions or testify on your own behalf later. Deputy, please.
Yep, she stated that she passed the bus on red lights and that there was not a stop sign out. Then later admitted that she passed the bus after she saw the last child enter or get onto the bus. There was approximately 7 children that got onto the bus at that stop, so it was a little longer stop. I did review surveillance footage of the incident. We have surveillance footage on the bus. It's not a red stop sign camera. It's interior. So it shows the lights that are activated above the driver's head. And it does show headlights of a vehicle that stops at the rear of the vehicle of the bus and then passes right as one of the students is still not on the bus, and the red lights were indicating that they were on.
Nope.
I did inform Miss Peak by telephone on 9/26 that I would be issuing her a citation for failing to stop at a red bus or a bus. She indicated that she would not accept the ticket, hung up on me while we were talking on the telephone. I then attempted to make contact with her at her home in Berry County. I was informed by her mother-in-law that she had left the home on Miller Road to attempt contact with me. She was issued citation SD 170918 by certified mail.
Okay. Ms. Peak, do you have any questions for the deputy at this time? You'll be testifying, you'll be testifying at a later moment. This is for you to ask questions of the deputy.
Yeah, I do got a question. Why are you lying on my stepmom? Because my stepmom did not say that. I went to my sister's house to help with her sick child. I never tried to avoid
not
nobody.
A question, Ms. Peak.
Yes,
You're
it is, because I'm asking him, why is he lying on my stepmom? She never said that. We have cameras all in our house. She never said that.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions for the deputy?
Yeah, why did he lie? Why is he lying? If he's an officer of the state, why is he lying? That's illegal. He should not be lying.
Ma'am, that's not a real question. I'm not going to have him answer that. Do you have any further questions for the deputy?
I get in trouble for lying, so why is he not getting in trouble for lying?
Okay, ma'am. We're going to move on. Mr. Avery?
The kid out. I know there was no kids out. I did stop.
Ms. Peak,
they did not have a stop sign out. They need to have a stop sign out if you're not allowed to pass.
That's not true at all. Stop talking.
Yes, it is. I've looked it
Mr.
up.
Avery,
yes, it is.
What would you like to say?
He has to have a stop sign out. Yes, he does. He absolutely does too have to have a stop sign out.
If you don't stop talking,
not have a stop sign out.
I'm going to mute you, ma'am. So now nobody can hear you, so you can keep going if you want. But you should be able to hear still. Will you please give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, right? You can't hear me anymore, ma'am? Okay, ma'am. Mr. Avery, what is it you'd like to tell me?
I will give you my recap of the morning. Or pardon me, of the stop. So prior to me leaving with the bus, I fill out a pre-trip inspection form verifying that everything is working. I note any deficiencies. I didn't note any deficiencies that day for that particular trip. As I pulled up to the house, it's the Lemus house. There are many kids, so it is a bit of a longer stop. I wouldn't be able to share the image with you, but this morning at about that time, I took a picture from the driver's perspective. That way it would be viewable exactly what I see looking towards the house. As I pull up, as Deputy Klein said, there are roughly 7 kids that get on and off. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes right at there. There's a very large tree in the front of the yard that obstructs the view from the road to the main entrance door, also the kitchen windows. So it's impossible it really is very challenging to tell if all the children are finished getting on. Oftentimes I have to wait for a minute or ask one of the other kids, hey, is everybody on? Let's double check, make sure, because oftentimes the smaller ones come running out because they take a little bit longer to get on the bus. But I proceeded to the stop. I kicked my yellow student stop lights on before I got as I got within about 200 feet of the driveway. Once I reached the driveway, I hit my red student stop lights. My red stop sign kicked out
No, you
on the
did not.
driver's side. It has a
Nope.
flashing light on the top. It has a flashing light on the bottom. I also have red indicator lights on the top. In the video that's available, you can see that those are on by looking just above the driver's head and to the left. You'll see them flashing in the background. I did certify that day that everything was working. The vehicle pulled up behind me with the high beams on, and they came
It
up
was
behind me, and
whiteout.
before everybody was on, I'm talking, ma'am. You'll have your turn to ask me any questions that you like, and I will
They're
gladly
lying.
respect your
You
time.
are
Mr.
So,
Avery,
lying.
please don't address Ms. Peak directly. I will try to
yes, sir.
wrangle it a little bit for you. But Ms.
Yes,
Peak,
sir.
again, this is his turn to speak. You're going
You
to have an
can't
opportunity to ask.
lie.
Ms. Peak, if you say one more thing, I'm just going to make a ruling, and this hearing's going to be over. And you won't
I'm
even
gonna
have an
lie then.
opportunity. All right, we're done. You can go in the waiting room. Mr. Avery, essentially, I am with you right to where you said you're at.
Right. So the gist of it is, oh, sorry, sir. So I pulled up, all my lights and flashers, my student stop sign was working, the kids were getting on the bus, and the car blew by me. My stop sign was still out, my red flashers were still on, there were still students up. If anybody says that, and I drove by this house on 4 different occasions in my personal vehicle because I wanted to get the perspective from car level to see if you could tell if the kids were getting on or not. Not like it matters because my red lights were on, but I just wanted to see what their perspective would be. And you just can't tell, especially not knowing if all the kids are on or not. You just can't tell. And the video will show you the vehicle was parked to the left of center of the bus, obstructing the view that you have to make sure the kids are all on. But
let me
after
ask
the
you
vehicle,
this: were you able to get the license plate from watching a video afterwards, or in real time as
no,
it happened?
Sir. Nope. As it happened, the video shows that I verbalized the license plate, and then I broke out, and then I documented it. And if I'm not mistaken, the student immediately behind me and to my right documented it also, because I always I say it out loud, and I ask the kids to document license plates of anybody that blows our red lights. But at the time that it happened, I stopped and I reached out and communicated per our parameters.
And then I'm assuming you never actually had any interaction with that driver.
No, sir, I did not.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Peak, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak on your own behalf next. But right now, because Mr. Avery just testified, is your opportunity if you have any direct questions for him, or we can just move on to you testifying either way. What would you like to do?
I want to know why people are lying on me. He did not have a stop sign out, and I did not
Then,
protest him. I was probably going 10 miles an hour. If
ma'am. Okay, listen. So now the testimony against you is done. It would be your opportunity then to tell me your version of events. Here's what I want to tell you. Whether or not there's a stop sign is not necessary. So most buses don't have the stop sign. It's simply that you shouldn't even pass a bus on yellow, but certainly not on their red lights. So I just don't want you to get hung up on the stop sign thing, although there is testimony that the stop sign was out. But what is it you would like to tell me of why you should not be found responsible on this citation? Go ahead.
For one, I looked up the law. You need to have a stop sign and the red lights out. You need both. You have to have both. It's in the law book. I looked it up. I read it. It's in the law book. You need to have both. I did not notice that they were red stop lights. I never ever once said, oh yeah, he had red lights on and I passed. I never said that. I said he did not have a red stop sign out, so I thought it was okay to pass. I came to a stop. I looked. I seen the kid get on the bus. I waited. He got on the bus. There was no kids running in and out of the house, none of that. So I slowly went past him. I did not zoom past nobody. I did not speed. I don't speed down that road because there's always two dogs, a little Boston Terrier and a yellow lab or something that are always darting out in that road. I do not speed down that road. I take that road all the time. I did not zoom past him. I will be getting a dash cam from now on.
All right. So after hearing all the evidence, I do find that you are responsible on this citation and that you clearly passed the bus when you are not allowed to. You do have a right.
Stop sign out or have his license revoked. He should not be driving a bus for picking up children.
That's not true at all. All right.
I want his bus driver
I'm going to
name
say
and
this
number.
real quick because I doubt I'm going to be
calling
able
and
to.
reporting him to the school. I don't want my kids.
I doubt
on
I'm
bus.
going to be able to get this a word in here, but to appeal this, you must do that within 7 days of today's date. Your rights to appeal this to formal hearing in front of the district court judges with the prosecutor's office ends after 7 days. And 2, you must come in person and post a cash bond in the same amount as the fine to guarantee your appearance at formal hearing. Do you understand your rights on appeal?
No. What is a bond? I'm going to jail for this?
Okay. No, ma'am. But if you wish to contest this further to formal hearing, you must come in and you must turn over $200 to the clerk's office to guarantee your appearance at formal hearing, a bond. Then you could have a formal hearing, but you must do that within 7 days of today's date. Otherwise, my ruling that you are responsible on this ticket would be the final ruling. All right?
Do I get
I'm
the
going
money
to go
back?
ahead and release everybody. We're all set.
Are you going to answer me? Hello?
What is your question, ma'am?
Do I get the money back?
If you were to show up at formal hearing,
Obviously,
yes. And then if you were to
be
found not responsible at formal hearing, yes. If another judge were to find differently than I did. Ma'am, at this point, you can go ahead and call the clerk's office.
So I'm ununderstanding. I don't understand, and I'm trying to understand. But you won't answer me, or you keep talking over me when I'm trying to ask you a question.
Okay, ma'am. At this point, you can call the clerk's office, and they will explain to you how to appeal. But make sure you do it within 7 days of today's date, or your appeal time will be over. Thank you. Gentlemen, you know, it's a traffic ticket. Sorry about that. Some people are difficult. Officer is used to that. Mr. Avery, that's not really how it's supposed to go. Thank you. I appreciate you for the job that you do.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye, gentlemen.